I'm great. Jared Bear, how are you?
Good. Hey, Ron, you began your career a young Alberta boy, part-time at a radio station in Red Deer. Let's fast forward to your starting out in Hockey Night in Canada back in, I believe, 86, right?
Yeah, 1980. It's amazing to me. It's 32 years. Don Cherry and I are in our 32nd year. When I started, Jeremy, he was 52. I was 26 years old, and I was really green, as you can imagine. And it's just stunning to me that I'm now 56 and Don's, I think, 39.
That must have been a big dream come true for a young Alberta boy.
Well, I always say the dream would have been to line up on the ice with some of my heroes. But I did love it, Jeremy. I like you said, I was in Red Deer, Alberta, and loved radio. I would wait till the evening, and I could get C-Fun Vancouver and CKLG out of Vancouver, two great rock and roll stations. And, you know, I wanted to be a disc jockey, and at that time I was more rock, and I now love country as well. But it was a dream to be a broadcaster, to make someone's day. That's, as you know, what our vocation allows is to say that it's going to be, not today, unfortunately, but some days you get to say blue skies and warm, and here's a great tune, and you know you're just lightening someone's load. So it's a great job to have.
Ron MacLean joining us from Hockey Night in Canada and Rogers Hometown Hockey. Ron, 30 years in the business, over 30 years. What's one memory that'll always stand out for you?
For me, my first NHL broadcast, because I did 2 seasons in Calgary, and then finally in my third year of NHL broadcasting, I got to do a playoff game. It was the Leafs at St. Louis Blues, and I remember standing at the Zamboni, scared skinny, and I did the opening to the telecast, and I would not call it Emmy Award winning, but I got through it. And then I turned around, the referee dropped the puck, and whack, within 6 seconds, 2 guys were just smashed on the plexiglass behind the net. And I thought, oh my God, the intensity. They're going to have to do this for 9 weeks to win the Stanley Cup. And I recognized right there and then what a sacrifice a player has to make in order to win the Stanley Cup. And that kind of made it exciting from there on in. All I ever do, really, for a living is say, hey, big game tonight. But I recognized that it was not such a bad lot in life to be promoting that big game, because I saw what people put into it.
You're in Edmonton this weekend for Rogers Hometown Hockey, pretty much a celebration for the game we love. You can find the full weekend schedule. That is up on our Facebook page right now. Ron MacLean joining us. Ron, there's really a little bit of something for everyone over the next couple days.
It's a 2-day festival, Jeremy. Gates open at noon at Sir Winston Churchill Square, and there's live music. There's lots of interactive stuff for the kids. There's hot chocolate. There's warming tents. So everything's free. And there will be ways to get out of the cold. Mark Messier, Marty McSorley, Ryan Smith are all guests. We have the live broadcast is 10:30 Sunday morning, and it's a good game. Montreal hosting Edmonton for our telecast on Super Bowl Sunday. So, yeah, it is a great family outing, and that's the biggest thing is, you know, Tara Sloan's already on the ground in Edmonton. I'll do Hockey Night tomorrow night and then fly out, and lots of chance to do photographs, autographs once the game gets underway. So I hope people come and celebrate with us. I know in Edmonton, it's not like you don't have access to the Eskimos and the Oilers, and it's maybe not as big a deal as it would be in Petawawa or Moose Jaw, but it's still a really lovely event for a family.
Ron, what goes into making hometown hockey successful every week?
I think, you know, Jeremy, is just really showing how you can be a hockey player so many different ways. We want to celebrate girls. It's Black History Month, so we want to, you know, tout the great achievements of Grant Fuhr and Jerome McGinley. We want to show family. We have a great feature on Floyd and Ryan Whitney. Ryan, a great NHL career, but his dad was sort of security detail for the Oilers and would sometimes don the pads in practice because he was a goalie in his day. So that relationship of Ray, the boy, actually worked as stick boy for the Edmonton Oilers and then ended up having a great career in the show. We want to show sledge hockey players. We want to show girls hockey players. Just really become an important show because hockey is a big deal to Canadians, and we want it to be more than just an NHL game. We want it to be a celebration of our sport.
Ron, your impression of the Oilers this season, do you think they're on the right track, and should they make a big trade?
I think they're really on the right track. I don't know that they need to make a big trade. I think they have to grow into each player. As Mark Messier would say, you know, McDavid is going to lead the way, just as Gretzky did. They've added some real strength on defense with Larson, and Chris Russell shows you the sacrifice. That's probably the biggest thing. Klefbom wasn't there much of the year last year, Oscar Klefbom. So their defense is better. Their goaltending, everybody likes Cam Talbot. The one thing that they now need to understand is what it takes. And it took Edmonton a long time with the first team. They obviously upset Montreal in the 81 playoffs, but then they got their comeuppance against L.A. the next year, and they got swept by the Islanders in 83. You really have to understand the price that needs to be paid. And they're in that phase right now. They're talented. They're deeper than they were. They're bigger than they were. But they need to now sort of ante up the sacrifice element, and that takes time, Jeremy. I don't think it's there just yet, but these 2 defeats this week will be a subtle reminder.
10 years ago when the Oilers were in the playoffs, I had hair. 10 years later, I have no hair right now, so knock on wood, something happens in the next year or two. It's been a stressful time for Oiler fans.
Well, that 06, I just remember the excitement of 06, right? And then it ended in Game 7 in Carolina. Everybody thought it was a fait accompli. When Edmonton won, probably it was a mistake to win so readily in Game 6. And then that was it, as you say. But it's great to watch the Oilers. Everybody in Canada now gets up, and makes sure they're staying up to watch the McDavid show. And they're deeper than just Connor, but he is absolutely spellbinding to watch. So very lucky to have had that happen. It's incredible that, never thought that somebody would get a Mario Lemieux in Pittsburgh, and they got Crosby. Never thought you'd get a Gretzky in Edmonton, and you got McDavid. So it's really a good time to be a hockey fan again up there.
Longtime host of Hockey Night in Canada and Rogers Hometown Hockey. Can't forget Coach's Corner with Don Cherry, Mr. Ron MacLean. Ron, thanks for doing this, and enjoy the weekend.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy. Appreciate it greatly.